a lot of history in doing so. Joining us now is Bruce Haynes. He's the Montgomery County Register of Wills, who started issuing marriage licenses to same-sex couples in the great state of Pennsylvania, and is the first person to have ever done that. Mr. Haynes, thank you very much for joining us tonight on your big day.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How did you come to the decision to do this?
Well, if you let me go, I have to go back about a week. A week ago, I was contacted by two women who were interested in inquiring about how to get a same-sex marriage, and I discussed it, reviewed it with my solicitor. I have a solicitor, Michael Clark, and I reviewed it with the county solicitor. And some of the things we looked at was the Windsor case that you were discussing, the U.S. Supreme Court case, Pennsylvania Constitution, and a decision by the current Attorney General in Pennsylvania, and her decision not to defend DOMA in court. Going back to the Pennsylvania Constitution, three things really sort of stuck out. Article 1, Section 1, a general statement on, hey, we're all free and equal individuals and entitled to certain rights and happiness. Then Section 26 of the same article gets a little more narrow. It says, you know, if it's a civil right, nobody can discriminate against that person from exercising that civil right. And then Section 28, the final section, which sort of crosses the T, dots the I, as far as I'm concerned, and that was nobody can be discriminated against on the basis of sex. It's right there, totally unambiguous. Now, I'm confronted with a definition of Marriage Act in Pennsylvania. It defines marriage as a civil union or a civil contract between a man and a woman. But on the other hand, I have three fairly obvious and important sections of the Pennsylvania Constitution that sort of disagree with that. I was sworn in 2008, and again when I was reelected in 2011. I was sworn in just last year, 2012, and I swore to uphold the Constitution of the Commonwealth. And I took the position, and I take the position currently that when a statute is in opposition to the Constitution, I'm going to follow the Constitution.
Do you think that these...
I did that.
Excuse me, sorry to interrupt, sir. Do you think that these five couples who you married today, to whom you issued these licenses, do you think that they will end up being test cases as this gets litigated and fought over politically in Pennsylvania, or do you think these cases sort of stand alone?
Rachel, I truly don't know. You even mentioned the fact that I have been speculating as to the number of people who are going to show up today, and it was going to be 0 or a line around the block. It turned out to be 5. So clearly I'm not very good at this. But I would like to point out that I issue a marriage license. I don't marry people. So it's a little bit different than the San Francisco situation. I issue marriage licenses to 5 people, and they have 60 days within which to have an official marry them. The official then sends the sort of like a receipt back to my office, and then it is registered in our database. And even before I issued marriage licenses to same-sex couples, there's a small percentage of licenses that never get used. So I really, truly don't know what's going to happen vis-a-vis these individuals. I truly wish them well, because I've met each and every one of them, and they were just great people.
Well, you certainly made their day. It has to be said in a serious way.
Well, Rachel, I hope I made more than their day. I mean, you know, it's one thing to talk about this academically or from a lawyer's standpoint. You have two folks come in and ask for this recognition of their union. That puts it in an entirely different framework. It's not academic anymore. It's not ethereal. It's but did you say nuts and bolts? Did I hear you use the word nuts and bolts before? That's what it is.
Yeah. Bruce Haynes, Montgomery County Register of Wills in the state of Pennsylvania, a man who made history today. Thank you for helping us understand this tonight, sir. Please stay in touch. I'd love to hear how this pans out. Thank you for being with us.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thanks. All right. Lots to come tonight, including a really